Val and I had a talk this morning, which we recorded, and I can just put that on here as an extension if anyone wants to listen to it. A lot of crazy new nonsense talking, but experience things like having someone that we cared about, that we told about the giving the way of new, and she when I took the trip out west, she was invited because we're trying to have her, we're giving her the chance again, and instead she took herself out and she's gone, because I think that was a direct, kind of almost a direct relation. She knew that she was shortening herself, and that's what people will do. They'll go the other way, because I remember the old thing about you can't, there's only going forward or you're going back, type of thing. And that's pretty much it. If you think we're just sitting in between that, it's not really true. It's like when we're out on the road and there's no you can't just stay on the road parked, although that happened to me today momentarily when I was at a red light behind somebody, and so trying to do something that isn't part of what you're doing. Let's say you're sitting in the car and you're reaching for something, instead of what you're really supposed to be doing is driving the car and focusing on where you're going. And so it does demonstrate that. It did for me then. There's no sitting still. There's no stillness here. Val shared that with or a recent thought from somewhere about the not same thing, not going back. There's no stillness here. The cause and effect quote that I heard said, everything's going to be constant motion of the causes and effects. So it was put much better in the way that it was quoted. So I wanted to say about the story of Exodus, as a part of this novel that I wrote 20 years ago. The boy is abducted by the Litex, who are going to use him to discover more of this gemstone that's being used for space travel and or dimensional travel, whichever. And it's something like in the movie Dune, where they use the spice. And so he gets taken to the empirical planet of the galaxy, where they do the authoritarian activities, and then he gets released or freed by the rebel group, who take him back to, or give him the opportunity to go back to his home planet Exodus, where there's this the Litex setting up shop or have a station there, and they're actually being hired by the Empire as observers of planets, and that's what they're supposed to be doing. But what ends up happening is they put their satellites around the planet, and they control the population and feed them electromagnetic energy, media, and hypnotism. And that's pretty much what's the occurrence on Earth, from the perspective of myself as the writer here, but also in a way, it's one way of saying it. So they set off a the rebels and the Exodus boy Elias, I used the name, Bible name. He they set off a kind of what I called a gamma ray explosion, or a implosion, or something that's a vibrational frequency that goes out across the whole galaxy and is headed towards Earth, and that's the end of that particular part of that adventure. And I was thinking about this, the Lytech alien presence, and how this had probably happened on Earth a long time ago, actually. You know, we get this idea from science that the light years, which means that we're actually seeing the stars light years ago. We're seeing the light from the stars. Okay, so we're re-experiencing that. Or I just said it properly, better, recognizing the current experience, which is, you know, one of the cause and effect parts of the true reality. So it's hard to explain, but my own experience is not needing to know all this information, and are sharing that, and except for as a reference to say what's going on now, which is ever changing, and the presentation or ideas that I've been, let's say, sharing myself are being presented to me, kind of like a movie picture and a movie part, where it's now changed. The viewpoint has changed because of something that's happened. So now it's a different picture, and it's almost like every day that picture changes and or gets presented to me differently. So I don't know exactly we never know exactly what it really is or what the direction is fully. We're getting the parts of it, just like watching a movie and seeing this scene and that scene. So I see this happening in the global situation very directly and indirectly, and different views being presented, or and the fact that we can't actually see the real view